My bad, we lost connection. Let's try it again. What's up, everybody? Give everybody time to get back on. Give Mignon time to get on. And then we're going to get into it a little bit. Hope everybody's having a blessed Wednesday. Hope everybody's ready for the mid-season finale. I can't believe we're already at this point. You know, it seemed like the season 3 premiere was just yesterday, June 9th, and it's came and gone so fast. We're already at the midway point. Oh, man. Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, I have ears to the streets, and it just said you've been cutting up. Really, really just
You
like
know,
Danny under the bus.
you know, I can
What I
neither
heard.
confirm nor deny that.
Got it.
It doesn't sound like me at all. Um, you know, I would never, I would never, you know.
Hmm. Okay. Well, it's your tea to spill. What are we spilling?
Um, you
I'll
know,
just wait.
it's whatever. A lot of people are, and I did, sort of address this earlier. A lot of people have been giving Danny a hard time. Why is she so hard on Preston? If he could talk about cows, this, that, and the other, and you know, to kind of back you up a little bit.
Did you?
No, no, yeah, I always do. I always back you up. But honestly, if there's a breakdown in communication in any relationship,
Yeah.
it's both parties have to be involved.
Yeah.
And I've said, and we had discussions about this, and I've said, there has to be a realization on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Preston has to realize that, while he's talking about cows all the time and farm life and things of that nature, that, Danny's interests and things like that are just as important as his own. And so
Right.
he has to take the time to
Thanks.
explore, you know, her interests as much as he expresses his own.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of it. I think. Not I think, I know. It's only part of it, but
Right, 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 right. Yeah. It's just, a small piece of what goes into making a quote unquote successful relationship and communication for those two. It's been kind of up and down,
yeah.
from the start, and that's to
Yeah.
be expected when you have two people from two completely different backgrounds and different,
Yeah.
ethnicities. There are things that you just, you don't understand without, education or experience.
Yeah. I think that's the thing too. That's Danny is trying to find the language. I, as the actress, I have it. But Danny is, she's realizing like that a 34-year-old man not to know as much as Preston doesn't know is no longer an excuse, but a choice, right?
Right.
You can only get away with, I didn't know for so long. And I think Danny, she hasn't strung that together yet, but I think that's just, she's at a point in her life where fine steak and roses and friendly isn't enough. It's like what does the rest of life look like? Is it
Mhm.
going to be like, is it going to, every time there's a situation where I don't know, Danny, like how long is a person supposed to, you know, listen to that and get by on that? And I think that's one of the things she's grappling with inside, but, you know, just hasn't really been able to communicate to him yet because she hasn't been able to even fully communicate it within. So,
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's at some point in time, he's going to have to take initiative, you
yeah.
know, and I think that's part of Preston's problem. He's so reserved and he's so laid back that he kind of just lets things, he lets things unfold as they come or as they happen,
Yeah.
as opposed to being assertive and going and saying, you know, hey, Danny, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your interests. Let's do this. Let's do that. Tell me about your culture. You know, I want to learn so that we don't have, you know, these kind of breakdowns.
He ain't even took her to like Ruth's Chris or nothing. Or STK. Like, they don't go
Yeah, see,
nowhere.
I
He
don't
don't buy
know,
her nothing.
you know, I don't know if Preston even knows. Preston seems, I think he might take you to Texas Roadhouse. You know, where they bring the saddle out.
Longhorns?
Yeah, they gonna let you sit on the saddle and sing happy birthday to you and give you that big yeehaw at the end when they give you the free dessert. Preston taking you to Texas.
Awful.
You gonna have to tell Preston
Awful.
about Ruth Chris and STK and all of that. Because
Oh, that's a problem. That's a
if
problem. They're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it. Sorry guys, they're not gonna make it.
see,
Sorry.
you about to have a whole lot of people really, really upset with that statement.
Guys, I don't know what to tell you. He said Texas Roadhouse. Could you blame her? Could you blame her? So, sorry everyone. That's it. That's it. Trinity, maybe we can just have Preston move in with Zach. You
Nah,
know, move into the
no,
duplex. I
no,
think he can
no,
move into the duplex.
no. I don't. You know, Zach he done hit a come up. You know, I don't know where this come up came from. I'm not going down if the FBI kick in the door. I don't.
That's not your
You
fault
know,
if you just paying rent in one side of the
but I'm
duplex.
saying though, you know, he got newfound wealth. He might have me supplying them with steaks. They might try to connect me. You know, I don't want anything to do with that. You know,
Steak
if
money?
they come in and ask where the steaks come from, he might give me up, and I'm gonna have to be like, nah, them wasn't my steaks. I ain't got
He's
nothing to do
using
with it.
steaks to clean his money? Is that
You
what
know
you're
what I'm
saying?
saying? I'm saying. You never know. You never know. I don't want to get
That's creative.
involved. You know.
Ladies and gentlemen and artists, because that was creative.
You know.
Steaks to clean your money. Wow.
Yeah. But you know what do you think needs to happen in order for Danny and Preston to move forward?
Danny needs to say her piece. Because right now, she just looks confused and like she doesn't know what she wants, which is fair. I think a person's allowed to have that. I think a person is allowed to be in that space. Um, and I think once she finally gets her thoughts together, she needs to say her piece. And hopefully Preston will maybe say, I mean, I just feel like, you know, Preston lets her know, you know, I want to do what I want to do. I want to, even if I do bust into your apartments, because I want to see you. And when I want to see you, I'm going to come see you, even if that means breaking and entering. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like that. He lets her know what he doesn't like and how he doesn't like it and how he does like it and whatever he wants. I think that, you know, it's ironic or it's hard for people to believe, but even women like Danny can shrink themselves in relationships and can be passive, especially with a person like Preston, because he's a nice guy and he is sweet. And so she's kind of almost gaslighting herself into thinking that maybe it's me. Maybe, you know, like someone who, like, that's the thing. She hasn't put the language together of, okay, Preston doesn't respect my boundaries. You know, season 1, he pops up and it's Danny's fault, you know, like if you have to place blame. Season 1, he's like, I wanted to surprise you. Danny's like, you can't, just pop up on people. But he's like, well, I have steak. And so now she's like, condition him to think like, hey, if I bring steak and flowers, then I can disrespect boundaries. And then season 2 breaks him through the landlord's help. I had steak and flowers. Second time, I wanted to apologize. Fourth time, my sister's in town. I wanted to see my sister. I didn't call and tell you, even though I can call and tell you any other thing. So at this point, it's just building up where it's a pattern of him not really respecting her boundaries, but she hasn't put it all together yet because he brings steaks and flowers, because he pays rent. So it's like this thing where she hasn't connected the dots yet. Excuse me. So.
No, I definitely get it, and I agree. Honestly, I feel like just communication has to be, voluntary, not, somebody just trying to have to pull out of you what you need to say. And I think that Preston would be more than willing to adhere to whatever conditions Danni, needs in order for them to move forward. I think that he cares that much about Danni that whatever she needs from him, he's going to give it to her, regardless of whether it's what he wants to do or not.
Yeah.
But he just needs to know what that is that she needs from him.
Yeah. Some of y'all like, that's a man, pays rent. There's so much more that goes into relationships, and I mean, I do understand why the audience is like, what's the problem? But I really feel like that might be why so many marriages, like 50% of them, I think actually more, I think we're over half now, are ending. I think that's why people couple wrong, because, you can get your own steak. You can pay your own rent. Is that really enough to, stay together? And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be together, but I think Danny's on the right track, but it's not popular to be that intentional. It's not a common thing to say, yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he, has dinner cooked and, paid rent, but there's some stuff that just isn't right yet. And that's okay. Like, you got to grow together. You got to build together. So I'm not saying that Danni should give up on Preston or Preston should give up on Danni, but I think it's perfectly okay for Danni to say, this isn't quite right yet. I think
right.
And I hope people will do that in their own relationships. And because I'm telling you, 10 years from now, you're going to wake up and that steak is going to have you real backed up. You're going to know a colonoscopy. You're going to have allergies from all the flowers.
Yeah. See, I mean, and I totally agree. Because, what works or what, gets the ball rolling in the beginning is not what's going to keep it going. There has to be more to a relationship than what there was when it started.
Yeah.
So, and I say that to say this: do you feel like it's necessary for two people to share a lot in common to have a successful relationship?
I think the foundations have to, I don't think, you can be a little bit country, she can be a little bit rock and roll. I don't think that matters, but I think the foundations, and like, for instance, what I was saying about boundaries, most people don't have healthy boundaries. And so they don't respect other people's boundaries. And so that is why Danni can feel it inside, but she doesn't have the language. So I think things like respecting boundaries, understanding one another's boundaries, having the foundations in common. Like, you have people who've like tried to make relationships work. Y'all don't even want the same thing. Like, He wants kids, you don't. Let that one ride. You know, throw that one back out in the ocean for the girl who is looking for kids. Like
Right.
the guy, like,
Right.
you know, so the foundations need to be in common, like spiritual life, X, Y, and Z. But um, I don't know if Danni and Preston have had those conversations. Maybe, maybe not. But I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm really proud of Danni. I'm proud of her that steak and flowers aren't enough. I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
I
I
think
mean,
it's a beautiful
I
thing.
agree. I agree that that's not enough to keep a woman or, you know, make her happy or make the relationship work. That it takes more than that. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take understanding. It's gonna take
Yeah.
realization, and it's gonna take acceptance. You know, accepting the fact that their wants, their needs, their interests are just as important as your own. And once you reach
Yeah.
that realization, then I think you're in a place where you can move forward collectively.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. What I don't know if Preston can even realize, and I don't know if Danni has, again, has not put it all together, but I don't know how safe she feels in her own home because of boundaries. Not like unsafe, like bodily harm, but to walk into your house the day after you're verbally assaulted at work, and then I guess your man, because they still haven't had that conversation,
Right.
is right, has been physically assaulted for being with you. The very next day, a member of that family is sitting in your house before you even get there. That is jarring. And I think people like Danni, because she is so playful, she is so strong. Yes, she ran the rednecks over, but that's still a traumatic event, right? And people
Right.
like Danni, people tend to forget to ask questions like, are you okay? Like, how do you feel? Like, do you need a second? And Preston it didn't even occur to him that the next day might be a little too soon for me
Right.
to try to get her to fall in love with my sister. Like, he
Hmm.
could have just went out to lunch with his sister. He could have, you know, maybe had her there, which I don't think having her there at the house should have been even right, because here's the thing. The brothers physically assaulted him. They wouldn't intimidate it out of their little old sister.
Right.
Like, that's the thing for Danni. But Danni copped out later on that episode and said, oh, I was just insecure about my apartment. She knows that's not why. She knows she didn't feel safe, but she doesn't know how to say that because she knows he wouldn't hurt her. But when he would, to do something like that and not even think something like that through, can make a person feel emotionally unsafe. And Danni has felt emotionally unsafe in her friendships, in her past relationships, because she's so misunderstood. So I think, you know, emotional safety is just as important as physical safety. And I think he doesn't even realize when he's doing things like that, especially when he runs in conflict. Oh my gosh, like that's emotional abandonment. Like, but that's the thing, we're not going that deep in the show, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
as the actors, we have that living inside of us, but you know, we haven't really had those 12-page scenes with the two of them. They've
No,
had some 10 pages, but
we
like
haven't.
they haven't really dug in like that. And I think that, you know, we'll get there.
Yeah, yeah. There definitely needs to be, you know, a little more exploration in the dynamic between those two characters to really kind of see what's the underlying problem and things of that nature. And I totally agree. Um, Even if Preston was unsure about having his sister over,
Right.
that's where I believe the breakdown in communication happens on his end as well. I feel
Mhm.
like Danni catches so much flack over that, but Preston also has some breakdowns as far as his own lines of communication. Where if he was uncertain, given everything like that happened, just like you said, call and ask, "Hey,
But
what do you,
yeah, that's the thing. He didn't want to, right?
what do you, Danny? I was thinking about doing this. What do you think? How do you feel? Let me know." And
Yeah.
as far as, you know, when things get hard or things are going bad and things of that nature, when we've had this discussion as far as when we're breaking down, you
Yeah.
know, the script and him running, and why he does that and will he continue to do that and things of that nature, that's where me and him differ. Because if there's a conflict, I personally would never do that.
Right.
I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna break things down, no
Right.
matter where the conversation goes, how far left it may go.
Yeah.
We're gonna work it out until we get it right. And so I feel like that's the kind of approach that Preston needs to take. I feel like things would go a whole lot smoother if he didn't disappear so often when things got rough, and they did have the opportunity to sit down, whether he wanted to hear it or not, whether
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to say what he wanted to say at the time or not, whether she was upset, I think he uses that as an excuse sometimes. You were upset. I wanted you to cool down. Well, sometimes you need to hear what's being said
Yeah.
during those moments because there's a lot of truth in that. And so,
Right.
yeah, he has. Look, I'm saying this the last time. This the only time I'm gonna say it. Preston has his faults too.
This is the only time.
Okay, don't share this. Don't tell nobody I said this because I'm gonna act like I never said it on Twitter later on, and I don't want y'all to bring that back up. But he just a little bit, a little bit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Playing dumb, that's a strong suit. I think that's a strong suit of Preston's for sure.
Preston might not be playing. We don't know yet. We haven't seen him enough to know whether he's playing or not. I mean,
Uh, I hope he's not. I hope he is playing dumb. That would be better for him to be playing dumb.
yeah, definitely,
That
definitely.
would be
But,
better for his case
but
because if it's real, it's a problem.
right, right, right. But I wanted to ask you, with everything that's happened between Danny and Preston, do you think their connection is still merely physical, or have they connected on an emotional level as well yet?
I think they have their moments, but I think there's some stuff that has to be rectified. Like, I talked about earlier. I think there's some stuff that they really need to, I think they need to figure out. First of all, they haven't even defined their relationship. They didn't shacked up, but they haven't even had the conversation of exclusivity. So I think they need to do things like that. But I also think they need to figure out, Danny, how, on Preston's side, Danny, how do I make you feel more comfortable moving forward with me? Let's not even get into the pot to piss in and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
gal.
yeah.
Well, we were not, that's all another 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the type of thing where I'm talking about willful ignorance. In today's climate, remove Danny and Preston from it. Not being racist isn't enough anymore. You need to be culturally competent, right? Being
Right.
a nice person isn't enough anymore. You need to do the work. And I think, again, Danny is still stringing that language together. And I think Preston has to be the kind of person that says, what do you need to move forward, right? But
Mhm.
instead, I think he's the kind of guy who kind of really, really rests on, I didn't know. Like most men. Oh, okay. You want me to take out the trash? You mean that's what you meant when you said take out the trash? Like most men like to play a little dumb. And so I think because change is hard, and I sometimes I feel like Preston wants her to change rather than him do changing.
Right.
And I think Danny already said she's working on stuff for herself. She knows she needs to work on herself. She's not really trying to change him, but she doesn't really want him to come in there and like bust her world up and, you know,
Definitely.
I don't know. That's a lot. What do you think?
Yeah.
What does Preston need? How about that?
Preston needs one thing, and that's for Danny to tell him what she needs from him. That's it, because he is going to be more than happy to give it to her.
Okay. We'll see.
And and he might need one other thing. He might need his rent money back if you're gonna put him out after 2 days. Because you know this, I know we're at the mid-season finale, but it's only been like 2 days, and so if he paid for 3 months, maybe on like a pro rata, reimbursement.
I don't
Um,
I don't think
so,
so. I think he took the initiative, and I feel like that is fair because of Danny could have reported him and her to the police for, breaking and entering. So
see,
I
you're
think
gonna
that's
stop that.
fair.
First of all, you're trying to get Preston charges, okay?
He needs some damn
You're
charges
trying to
for
get
that.
him charges. He didn't break in, okay? Your landlord let him in.
That's breaking in, boo. That's breaking in. That's
No,
breaking in. That's yeah.
not
Yeah.
no.
That's
See,
that's what's it called? Come on, somebody who know the court
nah,
charges. What's it
nah,
called? It's not
no,
breaking and entering.
no.
It's
It is not.
unlawful entry. What is it? Unlawful entry? Y'all know that.
Not
Come on
when
now.
you're let in.
By the landlord illegally?
Hey, I might have been a new maintenance man. You don't never
Uh-huh.
know. I was trying
Right,
to
right,
fix
right, right,
something
right.
in your
But
apartment.
doesn't Danny have to put in a maintenance request?
Not necessarily, they come by and change out your air vents, things of that nature, your filters or whatnot. You don't need a maintenance request for that.
Yeah, somebody just said, yeah, you're not getting that back, bro. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was. I just figured I would put that out there.
No,
It's all good. Preston would
no.
never ask for that back anyway.
Thank you. Unlawful entry. I know that song. I saw it. See,
Oh, well,
trespassing. Yep,
if that's the
trespassing.
case, they need to charge the landlord then, not me.
100%. Get her ass too.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
both of them. But see, that's the thing. Danny knows, he means well. And that's why she's letting him get away with a lot of stuff.
I don't
And
know.
that's the thing, ladies. That's not enough anymore.
You telling all these people on
Standards.
this live that unlawful entry and trespassing and breaking and entering, you gonna have Preston locked up. He ain't even gonna be in season 4. What happened to Preston? He got locked up for breaking and entering. I don't know.
She'll put money on his commissary. He won't go to the penitentiary, right? He'll just probably
Nah,
get like
nah. He'll be in the county.
he'll be in
He'll
county.
be in county.
And he's pretty too, so don't drop the soap.
Nah, nah. Preston, he ain't dropping no soap. You can believe that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. So Preston just wants communication. I mean, we'll see, because I feel like people communicate, but like I said, you gotta. So far, he has not shown that he takes a lot of initiative and understanding. He might want to understand, but it's still a choice. So we'll see once she communicates. Hopefully, season 4, Danny
Right.
will
Fingers
say her
crossed.
piece.
Fingers crossed. Definitely.
White privileged
Oh my
with
God.
the ED, white privilege, and that's true. That's
I
true,
mean, it
though.
is. It
It
is.
really
I
is.
totally agree. I totally agree.
White
But
people have the privilege of not learning.
100%.
100%.
But look, I don't want to keep you on here any longer than I need to. But I
Okay.
do want to thank you and everybody else. Thank Mignon for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the mid-season finale tonight. Don't miss Mignon and the rest of the girls on the talk show immediately following.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Look, you don't forget. You were gonna be asleep. Knowing you're supposed to be, yeah, knowing you're supposed to be tweeting with these people. See,
I do the best I can, y'all. I gotta give my beauty rest. All right, y'all. Enjoy your time with Trinity. Bye.
see ya.
Hold on. I hit cancel. Oh man.
Oh man, yeah. Uh, I think we'll learn a lot tonight, y'all. I do, and I totally agree. Accountability, and miscommunication, lack of communication goes both ways. Particularly when we're speaking about relationships. So if there's going to be blame, it's got to be shared between Preston and Danny. But let's, fingers crossed that, second half of season 3. Fingers crossed for season 4 that they get everything worked out, and yeah, and we'll give you guys more of, Team Destin. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me today. Thank you guys for tuning into the live. And remember, you can follow me on IG, Trinity_Whiteside, TikTok, Trinity Whiteside, Facebook, Trinity Whiteside, Twitter, he_man_82. It's been a pleasure. See you guys tonight. Make sure you get on Twitter and tweet with me and the rest of the cast. That's where we do a whole lot of interacting with the fans. We love interacting with you guys. You guys show us so much love. And what I always tell you guys, whether it be on here or if I see you guys in person, is as much as you guys love us, we love you guys just as much, if not more. We would not be where we are without you guys. So make sure you're on Twitter, live tweet with us tonight. And it's been fun. Till next time.